Okay, everybody, we are now going to play Jeopardy Deluxe Edition for the Sega Genesis. How am I going to do this game? Let's find out. Let's do this.
Jeopardy!
Alright, let's play. Taking on Ola and Dan. And we have these as our 6 categories.
Here are the categories.
Ouch, in quotation marks. Dickens. Tennessee. Washington, D.C. Signs and symbols, and finally, weather. Okay. These seem like interesting categories. We're going to start things off with Dickens for 100, please. This novel about Mr. Murdstone's stepson was released in monthly installments in 1849 and 1850. What is David Copperfield?
You are correct.
Dickens for 200. A Tale of Two Cities is set during this historic event. Nope.
Sorry.
It is the French Revolution.
You are correct.
So Ola has her first bit of cash, and she makes the next selection. You might find one of these in a smoke shop, under your eye, or on your mailman's back. What is a pouch?
You are correct.
Ouch for 200. We give our personal assurance that this word comes from the Latin vocare, to summon or call. What is vouch?
You are correct.
Ouch for 300. Give me double. I have $400 at this point in the game, but I can risk up to 500, so that's what I will do. $500. Here's the clue, and ouch. If you could come up with the questions here, you're not this. What is a slouch?
You are correct.
Yeah! Ouch for 400. Late comedian who said, "Of course my mustache is real. It belongs to my maid." Who is Crouch?
Sorry.
That is wrong. Ola. Oh, Groucho Marx. Oh, okay.
You are correct.
So Ola takes the lead for right now, just by $100. Tennessee, 100. The Tennessee Walker, named for its distinctive gait and its native state, is this animal. What's a horse?
You are correct.
Tennessee, 200. W.C. Handy, father of the blues, wrote and worked on Beale Street in this city. What is Nashville?
Sorry.
Wrong. Ola. It's Memphis.
You are correct.
Memphis. Alright. So Ola has twice what I have. Signs and symbols 100. A large X separating two R's at a circular road sign indicates this. What is a railroad crossing?
You are correct.
Signs and symbols for 200. From the Latin dictus, meaning said, it's a pair of marks placed under words for repetition. Dan. Oh, ditto marks.
You are correct.
Ouch, 500. Fast-growing grass known as quackgrass, quackgrass, quickgrass, witchgrass, and twitchgrass. Sorry.
Sorry.
I have no idea. I didn't mean to buzz in. Nope.
Sorry.
Oh, couch grass. Alright.
You are correct.
Weather for 100. On some weather charts, DZ stands for this condition. What is drizzle?
You are correct.
Weather for 200. In absolute terms, it's the amount of water per unit of air. In relative terms, it's a percentage. What is humidity?
You are correct.
Weather for 300. Atlantic hurricanes first move westward because they are carried by these commercial winds. What are trade winds?
You are correct.
Weather 400. Term for what is formed where two air masses at different temperatures meet. What is a front?
You are correct.
Weather for 500. The Traveling Tornado Observatory of the NSSL is named for this Wizard of Oz animal. Who is Toto?
You are correct.
Ran the weather category up to $1,500. Let's go back to the $300 clue in Dickens, please. Smike might describe this novel he's in as wonderful and marvelous. Nicholas Nickleby.
You are correct.
Ola doubles her money and takes second place for right now. She gets to make the next clue. Signs and symbols 300. On calculators, the key with this function is shown by a diagonal line between two small circles. What is percent?
You are correct.
Signs and symbols for 400. Arms crossed over the chest means this in sign language. What is I love you?
You are correct.
Signs and symbols for 500, please. The universal symbol for ease of access for the disabled is this piece of equipment. What is a wheelchair?
You are correct.
There we go. Dickens for 400. 1854 novel about tough goings in the industrial city of Coketown. Dan. It is Hard Times. Yep.
You are correct.
Now Dan's in second place. Tennessee, 300. Tennessee leads all states in the production of this element used to galvanize iron and steel. Ola. Zinc.
You are correct.
Washington, D.C., 100. The two states which border Washington, D.C. What are Maryland and Virginia?
You are correct.
Washington, D.C. for 200. Directional name of the largest room in the White House. What is the West Wing?
Sorry.
Wrong. Ola. The East Room.
You are correct.
The Manhattan Project of World War II was centered in this town near Knoxville, not Manhattan. Oak Ridge.
You are correct.
Almost all of present-day Tennessee originally belonged to this state, its eastern neighbor. What is North Carolina?
You are correct.
Alright. I'll take Washington, D.C. for 300, I guess. Created by Congress in 1846, it's called the Attic of the Nation. What is the Smithsonian?
You are correct.
Washington, D.C. for 400. The monument to him is 555 feet, 5 1/8 inches tall. What is the Washington who is Washington?
You are correct.
Famous ones in Washington include the National, the Corcoran, and the Freer. Wrong.
Sorry.
Art galleries.
You are correct.
And now the last clue. Little Dorrit has her own book, but Little Nell is a character in the old shop of this kind. What is curiosity?
You are
So
correct.
I'm at $4,300. Ola has $1,600. Dan in third place with $800. So he's going to make the first selection in the round of
Double Jeopardy.
dollar values double. 2 daily doubles, and 6 all-new categories.
Here are the categories.
U.S. politics, literature on film, miscellaneous, Beach Boys, Shakespeare, and finally, textiles. Alright, here we go. Dan, start with you. Miscellaneous for 200. Socks whose pattern is derived from the tartan of the Campbell clan of Western Scotland. What is Argyle? What are Argyles?
You are correct.
Miscellaneous 400. Though found in a New Mexico forest, male to this bear's own zip 20252, go to Washington, D.C. Who is Smokey the Bear?
You are correct.
Miscellaneous for 600. This singer's only #1 hit, American Pie, was so long it had to be divided to half and half to fit on a 45. Who is Don McLean?
You are correct.
Miscellaneous 800. Enter the daily double. And I'm currently out front with $5,500 right now. How much of that do I want to put at risk? I'm going to try $4,500. Whoa. Big gamble. This will put me at $10,000 if I'm right. Here's the clue in miscellaneous. In Texas and Oklahoma, roundups are held to get rid of these snakes. What are rattlesnakes?
You are correct.
Yeah! Miscellaneous 1,000. It extends 50.771 miles from Lyman Bay on the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. It's the Panama Canal, and that was my guess, but I wasn't sure enough. But it doesn't matter, I have $10,000.
You are correct.
Alright, Ola, you have 2,600. You get to make the next selection. Lit on film for 200. In a 1947 film, Danny Kaye portrayed this James Thurber character who had a secret life. Who is Walter Mitty?
You are correct.
Lit on film for 400. The Bridges at Tokori, Sayonara, and Hawaii were movies based on his novels. Ola. It is James Missioner.
You are correct.
Beach Boys 200. Sport mentioned in the titles of their first 3 top 10 hits. What is surfing?
You are correct.
The Beach Boys for 400. Lead singer Al Jardine asks for this girl's help to get his old girl out of his head. Who's Rhonda?
You are correct.
Beach Boys 600, please. When Brian Wilson stopped touring in 1964, he was replaced by this rhinestone cowboy. Who is Glenn Campbell?
You are correct.
Beach Boys for 800. With this 1988 hit, they had their first #1 in over 20 years. What is Kokomo?
You are correct.
Beach Boys 1000. Two of their top hits that that titles that were one word repeated 3 times. Dance, 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 and this. What is fun, fun, fun?
You are correct.
Alright, let's go back to Lit on Film for 600. Audrey Hepburn and Henry Fonda starred in this condensed version of the over 500,000 word Tolstoy novel. What is War and Peace?
You are correct.
Lit on Film 800. Enter the other daily double. And I'm well out front with a lot of money sitting in front of me. 13,800. Let's just do 1,200. Alright. Here's the clue in Lit on Film. Stage Door, Cimarron, and Giant were just 3 of her works that made it to the silver screen. Who is Edna Ferber?
You are correct.
She's the one. $15,000 now. Lit on Film for 1,000. Alan Bates and Robert Redford were the Fixer and the Natural in films based on his novels.
Sorry.
Dan. It is Bernard Malamud.
You are correct.
Correct. Alright. Shakespeare 200. In Romeo and Juliet, Aeschylus is the prince of this city. What is Verona?
You are correct.
Shakespeare 400. King John and King Henry V are both set in these 2 countries. What are England and France?
You are correct.
Shakespeare 600. The married wives of this place are Mistress Ford and Mistress Page. What is Windsor?
You are correct.
Shakespeare for 800. This tragic title character is the son-in-law of a senator named Brabantio. Ola. Othello.
You are correct.
You have a $1,000 lead over Dan at this point. U.S. politics for 200. In politics, it was this man, not Sylvester Stallone, who was known as Rocky. Nelson Rockefeller, yep.
You are correct.
Shakespeare 1000. This play features pirates, lords, a prince of Tyre, and a one-man chorus named Gower. Nope.
Sorry.
Nope.
Sorry. You know the correct response?
Pericles, Prince of Tyre. In the 1968 election, he picked up 46 electoral votes as an American independent. Ola. No.
Drawing. Drawing. You know the correct response?
George Wallace. President whose doctrine provided aid from Greece and Turkey to combat communism. Who's Harry Truman?
You are correct.
U.S. politics for 800. On February 2nd, 1989, the Senate confirmed this ex-New York congressman as HUD secretary. It is Jack Kemp.
You are correct.
Democratic vice president and president who ran again in 1848 for the top job, this time on the free soil ticket. It is Martin Van Buren.
You are correct.
That leaves textiles. This plant accounts for 95% of the natural fibers used in the U.S. Cotton, and that was my guess.
You are correct.
Brussels and Bruges are famous for making this fabric, which the Belgians call dentelles. What is denim?
Drawing.
That is wrong. Oh no. Nope.
Drawing.
Dan. Lace.
You
Oh,
are correct.
right. Next. North Carolina and this other southern state lead the nation in textile production. South Carolina. Oh.
You are
I
correct.
thought that would have been too obvious. Textiles 800. In weaving, one set of fibers is called the woof or weft. The other is called this.
You are correct.
Alright. Corduroy with wide ribs is called wide wale. With thin ribs, it's called this. No.
Drawing.
So, Dan, you're going into Final Jeopardy with $800. It is pinwheel.
You are correct.
Lola, you have 4,600, and I have 16,400. So it's a locked game. Let's see how I do. Final Jeopardy category is science. 400 only. You could say the cities of Oak Ridge, Tennessee and Los Alamos, New Mexico were byproducts of this project. I'm going to say it was the Manhattan Project.
You know the correct
And
response?
that is right. So I'm going to give everybody $16,800. Dan goes down to $500. Ola goes up to $8,500, and I go up to $16,800. And I will see you all for that next segment.